Real Madrid vs Dortmund, the Bellingham derby. Is the Champions League final this year, and this is the final of the fantasy. Now this cheeky scrub is currently 137th in the entire world right now, so I could actually go and win it. Until you realise that first place is 51 points ahead of me, so never mind.
Unlucky.
The semi-final was pretty damn sexy for me though, scoring 58 points in the first leg and 68 points in the second, with the transfers in of Vinicius, Hummels and more scoring all of the points. And not only that, most of my players were also Real Madrid and Dortmund players. Hey, that's pretty good. So we are actually almost fully set up without any transfers being made. But I'm not a cheeky scrub, so I will use them. We do get given 5 free transfers for the final, and despite only needing 3 to make a starting 11 for myself, I may even still use the 5 transfers. Ooh.
Cheeky boy.
The odds for the game are very heavily in favourites of Real Madrid winning the Champions League. Not just winning it, but winning it in 90 minutes as well. And in terms of goal scoring odds, all of their players are way ahead of Dortmund players as well. So they're probably going to win and their players are going to score all the goals. So maybe, just maybe, Real Madrid players could be the transfers to make. Maybe. In terms of predicted lineups, the Dortmund team is pretty much what we would expect and is actually predicted to be the exact same as both of their semi-final games. Real Madrid, on the other hand, though, are predicted to make some small changes, where Courtois is back and he might actually start over Lunin, despite Lunin being potentially keeper of the tournament. Now that is harsh, but also it is Courtois the tortoise, so yeah, fair. Nacho is predicted to start, but Militao is back, so he could start in his place, and Tchouaméni is injured, so Camavinga will come in for him. I mean, I think so. It's just a prediction. Or maybe I am Ancelotti. But as there is only one game and only one deadline, which is the kickoff of the game, we will know the full lineups before we even need to make any of our transfers. So don't make any of your transfers now. Don't stress. Unless you live in like Antarctica and you only get internet every like 3 days or something. In that case, unlucky. Now, Hummels has actually scored more points than anyone else by quite a lot. Not only has he got almost 100 points in this Champions League, but he's also ahead of second by almost 30 points. Damn, son. Dortmund only have 3 players selected over 10% ownership, and all of them are actually defensive assets. And on the other hand, Real Madrid have 7 players over 10% owned, and the majority of them are their attackers. So it literally is Dortmund defenders versus Real Madrid attackers. Who are you going for? The answer is both. So for a fantasy match day like this, where you only have 1 game going on and you have 5 transfers, you can essentially almost get half a full team in my opinion, the best way to work out what transfers to make is actually build your dream team for the week. Select the starting 11 of players you think will score the most points. And for me, that would look something like this. So I would go for Kobel over Courtois in goals, because I think he's more likely to make the saves, and I don't think either of them are keeping a clean sheet. Hummels and Schlotterbeck are ball recovery sluts, so even if they concede 4 goals, they'll still end up getting the points, so those gotta be in. And then Rudiger is probably the best Real Madrid defender to own, and it probably is a good idea to have at least 1 defensive asset, just in case they keep that clean sheet. Sabitzer and Füllkrug are the only Dortmund attackers I would go for, as I feel like any goal for them is either coming from their striker, their main goal scorer, or a set piece or something from Sabitzer. Then the rest of the team, Real Madrid, all of the Real Madrid attackers, as we have Cruz, the creative deep lying playmaker, Bellingham and Valverde being the midfielders highest up the pitch, and then the dynamic duo of Rodrigo and Vinicius up front, who are probably going to be involved in the goals if Real Madrid score all the goals, and they probably will. Obviously, honourable mention to the other Dortmund fullbacks. You got Julian Brand in there. Maybe Royce could do a big boy game because, you know, it's his last ever game for Dortmund. And even Emre Can makes all the ball recoveries as well, so he could be good too. Real Madrid, on the other hand, they don't actually have many great fantasy options. This is pretty much it. And it is going to be quite interesting because everyone's going to think Real Madrid are going to win, but their Dortmund players might score more fantasy points. And at the end of the day, that's all you want, right? You only want points, you don't want result. So don't let that blind you and actually choose players you think will score points, not just because they play for the team you think are going to win. Anyway, once you have built your potential dream team, you can then work out how many transfers that would actually cost you to make that dream team a reality. So any players that have the white box are players that you are potentially going to transfer in. So for me, I don't have the likes of Rodrigo, Cruz and all that, and I do have the likes of Vinicius Junior and Bellingham and all that. And if I wanted to make my perfect team, it would only cost 5 transfers. How many transfers do we have? 5. Way, your beauty! So these right here could very well be my transfer plan. Going differential is fine, but only choose a player you think will actually score points, not just because he's like 0% out. But with everyone pretty much having the exact same team, they might not now, but after the transfers, they definitely will. The only real differential you can go for is probably with the captaincy. And I feel like most people will actually go for a Vinicius Junior because, you know, top goal scorer for the team that's probably going to win. Yeah, fair enough. But for me, I don't think I'm going to captain him. That's right. I'm going to be a proper geezer. And I am actually going to captain Matt Hummels. Now, captaining a defender in a Champions League final sounds like so boring. Like, I think I've had water spicier than that pick. But again, he scored the most points out of anyone this season. He gets the big boy holes. And, you know, all he needs is a goal, a clean sheet. He's definitely going to get that, right? But no. Even without anything like that, he's still getting at least 4 points from all of the ball recoveries he's going to make. And I feel like in a Champions League game that's quite tight, yes, we think Real Madrid are going to absolutely smash them, but Real Madrid could win, and any of their attackers that we end up captaining could go on blank. Whereas no matter what, I think Hummels probably will get some points. It might only be a 3 or 4 or 5 pointer. So with that being said, Matt Hummels might not get all of the points, but he will get some points. So I think it's more of a chance of your captain not blanking. And for me personally, in my position, that's what I want, because I'm kind of 100th in the world, and I would like to stay there. No, it's a lie. First in the world, here we come. Yeah, because I can make 50 points when everybody has the same team, right? Yeah. But if it doesn't work out, it's fine, because I can just sit there, stare at the camera and go, unlucky! But that is going to be all, and that is all for the Champions League Fantasy this year. My final team will be posted on my Twitter when we get the final lineups and I actually make the transfers. And you already know, screenshot of that final overall rank, chucked in the bio, chucked in the cover photo, good to go. Thanks for watching, and also, remember...
Don't be a cheeky scrub. Subscribe to Nathan Bacon right now. Don't let your memes be dreams.